The creation of biochemical replacement. Then can they become into the ultimate winner during World War II? Today, we will explore such a thrilling story. If you're fascinated by matches, bloody war with WWII, Ma and the elements of war, and there is a steel stomach than the movie, this is definitely just for you. In 1944, the fierce period of World War II. 120,000 brave Allied soldiers crossing the Strait of Man waiting for the plan to land on Normandy beach in France opened a new front. But on the night before the pouring, the largest set in history, an Allied contingent take on a top-secret mission, danger and challenge in the throne, a small village called WWII. Here, the Nazis erect a sloppy tower, waves on the roof of the house, worship in the village. The team's mission is to destroy the jamming tower before 6 p.m. tomorrow. They need to clear the way for nothing. Successfully supported the troops. However, the plane had just advanced into the framework of France, were frantically bombed by the Nazis. Rookie Boyce tries to concussion, and comrade next to him. But the actual situation is even worse, even what his teammates feared. The planes of the comrades were hit by, shelling knocked them out one by one. Very quickly, danger hatched, to Boyce Lane. Bullets like rain through the fuselage. A little straight inside. The situation is extremely critical. The captain orders all people lined up. When the green light comes on, the V immediately jumped. Boyce has never experienced this situation before. Mental preparation has been pushed down by someone. Continuous explosions in the air. Hit his ear. In a daze, Boyce finally opened the turtle. After the free fall, he was lucky enough to land on a lake. But the opening is too late if there is no such lake. Perhaps he has been shattered into pieces. Boyce cuts the wire with a knife, tear off the layer of a few turtles. It is very difficult to get ashore. Reflective rear lake surface. The light of the fire is bright. On the surface of the water are pieces, breakdown of the plane, and also the corpses of comrades. It is difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. At the same time, Allied aircraft are still constantly shot down. Bullets tearing through the wind can take Boyce's life at any time. Boyce wants to get together with his teammates. What is the rest? What he saw were only broken bodies. How far can you go out? Boyce hears the captain's voice, echoing from the forest. Unfortunately, he is suffering from the German troops were targeted, because he wants to save people. Boyce, despite all dangers, go out. But at the last minute, the team's explosives expert stopped him. After that, the two only have one can stand and look at the captain, us shot by the Germans like a beehive. Bo tells Boyce to never play hero games on the battlefield. Remember, our first task is not save the captain but destroy the noisy tower. Wait for the German troops to leave. Both continue to move towards the goal. The left flame flickered. The forest appeared like hell on earth. Many fields have not yet landed, feed in midair. No transportation. They have to rely on their feet, but it will take a lot of time. Extend to the heavens. The two approach the village. Just go an extra kilometer. To the north. Speaking now is from the dust side. The grass made a noise. Correct password. Not the enemy, but 3 surviving comrades. In turn, there are tipbacks. Explosives expert J. Battlefield reporter and Dawson. Passers-by. The clicking sound of the camera is very easy to attract the attention of the Germans, so Foe immediately dodged JD's camera. 5 people carefully move through the area, forest. But as expected, incidents are inevitable. Dawson kicked him in. And right here next. He was blown away into dust. Upon reaching the outskirts of town, a pile of crumbling flesh on his face, the land that makes them notice. Looks like the corpse of a mutant dog. They were confused when they saw a young woman into sight. Fear of being exposed. The group immediately chased after the girl. The girl's name is Chloe, a resident of the village of Villeneuve. Before, she used to study in London. After knowing they were allies, Chloe lowered her guard. Led by Chloe, the whole group smoothly entered the village. But, because the village is always under the view, Germany follows up to ensure. Make sure Chloe takes them to her house. As soon as he entered the house, echoing from upstairs, severe hoarseness. It turns out that the person who lives with Chloe in addition to her brother, 8 years old. What else is her person? What is the person who is coughing upstairs? Chloe tells them that, since when, suffering from a strange disease, she coughed incessantly. The door of what's the room is only half closed, but everyone didn't see her. Knowing that she was seriously ill and did not cause trouble, why they didn't pay much attention to her. The Germans patrolled day and night in the village, so it becomes very difficult to act. Chloe hates the Germans coming to the Marrow Mist, so she have actively participated in the team's plan. Before dawn, assign tasks to each person. Tip: Beth and Jay will go around the village to see if anyone is there. In the team that survived to get here, Boyce was assigned to stand guard downstairs. When passing through the hallway, the cough in the room has aroused Boyce's curiosity. Instead of coughing, it more like a roar. Don't watch it, but watch, then the soul is gone. This is not an obvious disease, obviously transformed. Soon after, Chloe told her what she used to do, was taken to church by the Germans. After being released, she began to fall ill. In addition to coughing, she did not speak, add any words. Was talking when suddenly, there is a car sound, and the sound of men talking below. Afraid of being arrested, and hurriedly fleeing into dark corners in the roofs, Chloe stepped down and opened the door. The person who arrived was a German officer, Nazis and a few soldiers. Chloe tried to stay calm. Then she left the officer alone in the house. The reason he wanted to go in alone was because he wanted to force Chloe into bed with him. Look at Chloe's reaction clearly. This is not the first time. Worried about something happening, Chloe excuses bad health in order to hope that he would retreat on his own. But I didn't expect that it was justice. Make him more interesting. He threatened Chloe. If he didn't bear his will tonight, he would take the sack to the church. Thinking of the state of what I'm now, Chloe, there is no other way but to follow it. From the attic, Boyce sees the whole thing, so he decided to go and save Chloe. Tried to disperse but failed. Just when the officer was about to play a bad game, Boyce appeared holding a gun to his head. Coming to this country, Vo had no other choice, in addition to cleaning up the consequences. Although he knocked down the officer, but the deeds have been exposed, they are forced to act immediately, to avoid a long dreamy night. Later, Vo orders Boyce, go find Beth and Jay again. As we approached the church, Boyce noticed the truck became full. The Germans were throwing close to the ground, and dying. It seems that some are still worshipped. One wears a white blouse. It was obvious that the military doctor was coming out, ordered the soldiers to deal with the killing. 2 soldiers with flamethrowers approached the pile. A stream of fire was spewed out and burned clean, piled up so close that there was nothing left. Boyce avoids the lights, phase, but not escape. The nose of the hounds. Hit by a chase, Boyce hurriedly slipped into the truck returned to the car. But I didn't expect that the trunk of the car next to they is full of close substance. Coincidentally, this car goes straight inside the church. Boyce lay in the middle of the pile, pretending to be good, when the Germans began to move out. Then he jumped out of the car. The constant killings in and out, small holes in the wall to chase observation, and eerie roars. All of them escaped from the indescribable strangeness. Although this place is hiding what a terrible secret. Through the small hole in the wall, Boyce sees a military doctor, recording something in the book. When he left, Boyce sneaked over to take a look. As a result, a pair of shocked eyes suddenly appeared, making him startled. At this point, Boyce seemed to understand something. Later, he found out something more terrifying. Body laboratory. The person who appears fully confirmed Boyce's suspicions. On the laboratory table are 2 rows, syringes filled with the red liquid is unknown, blood or something else. Boyce quickly took a tube and put it in his pocket. At that moment, he heard a woman's voice. Follow the voice sound, completely pleasant to the touch. Only saw 1 woman left, head and a continuous piece of live mist. But she was still alive. Can even talk. Too much. Boyce was about to leave, but he looked up down, saw a familiar face. It's not Rosenfeld. Your teammates. Before Boyce could save Rosenfeld, the military medic, walked in. Boyce is forced to hide in darkness to observe. The doctor injects a colored liquid, read it into the slaughter, and then miracles happen. The murder just stiffened suddenly. I'm starting to twitch. The killer has come back to life but doesn't seem to be meeting the doctor's expectations. In the end, the murder was still thrown into the crematorium. After the German doctors and soldiers left, Boyce begins to rescue Rosenfeld. His method of removing the tube is simple. Just pulled it out. Then the 2 of them went through the sewer system, underground, and get out safely. Upon returning to Chloe's house, Beth and Jay have been around for a long time. The deputy asked Boyce if he was looking. See the interference tower? It was obvious that Boyce had forgotten the task. As soon as they see the killings, Boyce told the group that he discovered what is left, worse than a jamming tower, thousands of times. The Nazis were carrying out experiments on the human body. They suck up black plastic from underground. and then pumped into cocoon-like bags. Then they throw the living in to conduct experiments. Most of the victims are villagers here. If the experiment fails, regardless of whether they are alive or dead, we're all burned on the spot. Chloe's aunt wasn't sick, is due to post-experimental changes, and the clear red liquid, the fairy tube, is actually serum drawn from the muscle, experimental human body. Fo wants to know the situation of the party in the church, but the name. The officer was very stubborn, refused to say anything. Seeing this, O was forced to feel he in his own way. This method has a noticeable effect. In the end, the officer gave the truth. He said the number of soldiers on the side, about 40 people. Fo quickly made a battle plan. Deep Best will be responsible for hitting distraction, the enemy's attention at the church gate, specifically using the officer's name as bait to lure most of the soldiers out. The other three will take advantage of the noise tower to place bombs. But as Jay was leading the officer, suddenly happened. Jay is attacked by the officer, and they fired a lot. Hear the gunshots. Boyce immediately ran to get down, knocked out the officer's name. But due to being too seriously injured, Jay only held the post for a few minutes, and then died. Losing one more teammate, Boyce was in great pain. However, when seeing the ground syringes, Boyce is full of memories of what he seen in the laboratory. With the thought that there is still water, Boyce injected a dose straight into Jay's heart. Time by second. Minutes passed, but Jay still didn't react. When everyone thought they had lost hope, Jay suddenly took a deep breath, then sat up, as if he had never died, witnessing the resurrection with his own eyes. Everyone doesn't believe in your eyes. The officer next to him said, "You ask for the serum too. What to do, right? Now, you know its power." Jay seemed completely normal. Not only losing the feeling of pain, but also became extremely healthy. If that's all, it's not a bad thing. But the problem is that his body catches. The head has uncontrolled changes. A rush of historical heat made the whole Jay's body is full of blue veins. Almost a terrible headache came. At this time, Jay was still rational, but his actions were out of control. Seeing such a situation, Fo did not hesitate to make a decision. Internal processing. After this, Elf asked the officer's name. "What is this matter after all?" The officer said. "The German Empire wants to survive. In 1,000 years, an immortal army is needed." As soon as he retracted his words, he revived again. Boyce immediately slammed the end of the game together to finish him. Danger after danger. The name of the officer, when everyone is not paying attention. He immediately took Bao as a hostage. The gunfire just now attracted the German soldiers. They drove to Chloe's door. The officer took the opportunity to press. Bao got into the car at his gate. Fo timely shots, but only their faces. He was not enough to finish the officer who escaped. That means that they have been completely exposed. Fo understands clearly, if you don't, before the Germans strengthen the defenses, they will. No more chances. However, at this critical time, Boyce had his own intentions. He thinks that if the time goes to destroy the tower, Waves Paul will definitely die. So he refused Fo's orders. No matter what Fo says, Boyce still insisted on saving Paul first. It must be known that there is only not full of 1 more hour. 120,000 Allied troops will land. Boyce's benevolence at this time was really making everything dangerous. But as the main character, Boyce still has his plan. He told Fo that he knew how to lie into the laboratory under the church. Once there, they will save Paul first, and then it can destroy anything. Fo can't convince Boyce, but saw the next. The plan was reasonable, so I had to agree. On the officer's side, for pain relief, he rushed into the lab. Without saying a word, inject 2 shots of serum into the hip in a row, just in his eyes. He didn't. I still have back pain and knee fatigue. Even felt very problematic. On the FO side, they have also started to take action, according to their plan to let Chloe use the beauty, and successfully captured a German soldier. Then he clenched his hand tightly, cover his mouth with duct tape, then let him drive his motorbike into the church gate. When the Germans came to check, it was too late, because the motorcycle was full of explosives. The explosion resounded. As predicted, has been successful, lured a large number of German soldiers out. At this time, Tippett and Rosenfeld, aerial ambush. Bullets rained down on the German soldiers. At the same time, Fo, Boyce and Chloe take advantage of the opportunity. Sneak into the church through a damp sewer. Chloe wants to quickly save her brother, so he acted alone. Fo and Boyce found the control room. After defeating the gods, they begin to placing explosives under the surging tower. Chloe captured a German soldier. He led the way to the laboratory. The German soldier was very cunning, and Chloe is innocent again, following him. He didn't expect to fall into a trap. Once you enter that room, you will be. The monster inside dismembered the body. Tomorrow at the last minute, the boys came out in time. Show and take down the soldier. The two people hurriedly ran away with the windows, but not closed and only. The soldier's back rope was hit by a monster. Internal objects pulled in. Not long after, two people find Pao in the laboratory. The boys asked Chloe to leave Pao first. He decided to stay to book explosives in the laboratory. As soon as Chloe took Pao down the damp drain, she was pulled out by a big, strong hand. It was the zombie that had just exited the room in the midst of contraction. Chloe shoots through the zombie's head. But this zombie is not. Must be of the same kind. Shot his head and still did not die. In the 1,000-pound-minute rope hangs Chloe's hair. Discovered a flamethrower. Any creature of the boys are unable to resist fire. Zombies are no exception. Chloe has solved the danger. Meanwhile, Pao is tired of the strongest enemy of his life. That body is the officer's name. Had escaped from the west of England. Pao is just a person who is often called a soldier. Falling down is as easy as eating candy. He held the glorious serum blood tube into talking about the amount of asphalt in this region of the WWII. Huge energy source. After the baby's body, metabolites and sperm, making it an immortal elixir. The officer is too extravagant even, declaring that he is a god. As soon as he said a few words, several shots rang out. Boys, after dealing with the uncle, doctor in the laboratory, team quickly ran to the rescue, but the officer was hit by a bullet, completely unharmed. Boy's actions only do. He was even more mad. He's like a cat in the garden of mice, throwing boys, place after place. And then, opened the locker. Zombies out to show off to boys about the Nazi immortal army. He pressed Boy's head down sadly, make the boys drown. But at that time, Foe was surprised, attacked from behind. An iron bar stabbed directly into his body. Foe is truly a hero. Just before that, he endured severe pain. Pulled out the iron hook and inserted it into the chest of the skin. Then there is no bear except for serum injections. The officer's name was completely lost. The whole feeling of pain, seemingly intellectual blows. It has no effect. Then Foe and the officer arrested. The head of the hand-to-hand fighter survived. The officer who injected 2 shots of blood, the fast bar, quickly prevailed. He looked at Foe motionlessly. That he has won. But didn't know that Foe was still. There is one last dimension. Foe and the boys avoided the explosion, but Foe refused to leave. He said to the boys, I can't go back. It's only a short time away. We'll also turn into monsters. Remember, everything here must be destroyed. Not just the tower, but all. Can't let the secret of zombies. Seelan came out of this place. Neither Nazi Germany, nor its allies, are allowed to possess the serum. Look at the zombies in the closet gradually. Revive them one by one. Foe did not hesitate to detonate the explosives. And those monsters. Endless coordination. At the end of the story, the boys did not obey Foe's instructions. He blew up the entire church. Soon after, loudspeakers in the village broadcast the news of the victory. The Allies landed, success in Normandy. In the midst of Chloe's waiting, Bao and his teammates have him return to the village. But before he had time to rest, he was superior summoned to interrogate. The amount of explosives you brought was enough to destroy the turbulent tower on the ground. So why choose onions? Underground caves? Is it because of the discovery of secrets of Nazi Germany? I heard that there was a room recently. Nazi experiments. Right? Boys remained calm. He remembered Foe's instructions about secrets of the laboratory. He did not reveal a word. Boy's answer is discreet without loopholes. The superiors had to give up further inquiries. The maturity of an ordinary person took place overnight. Foe's sacrifice gave. Boys see what I...
Enjoyed the video? Hit subscribe, drop a like, share with your crew, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk movies.